MotoGP leaves Phillip Island in Australia and moves over to Buriram in Thailand. We're at the Chang International Circuit, ready for the Tissot Sprint. Let's head down to the grid. Johan Zarco talking to Steve Day, but first, over to Rachel.
Starting in 12th is Johan Zarco there. It's great to see him on the Honda being competitive. There was quite actually a lot of different riders, weren't there, on different manufacturers, especially yesterday. The Aprilia are up there, as well as the Honda, and now Fabio on the Yamaha. So it's nice to see this track actually bringing manufacturers together.
Yeah, all five manufacturers from MotoGP were in the top 10 yesterday, which is a rarity now because Honda and Yamaha especially have been on the back foot, but they've made massive progress with concessions. Every weekend they've brought something throughout the summer break. The test at Misano really leapfrogged everyone up a little bit, so it's good to see a bit of parity across the board, and probably makes it even closer next year with the engine freeze coming into effect.
Yeah, exactly. Well, let's continue talking about Fabio and Yamaha. Steve is down there chatting to them on the sixth place on the second row of the grid.
Diego Gabellini, crew chief to Fabio Quartararo. It's so good to see you further up the grid, and this is clearly a sign of your recent progress. What are your thoughts about the race today?
Yeah, this track is quite good for Fabio because he's always been very fast. Luckily, we put everything together today, and we got a good position on the grid. Yesterday, the pace was good. So we are in a good position to try to follow the top guy, finally.
What do you think is realistically possible here? We know the Ducatis are fast. What would be a good finish for you?
Let's say top 6 can be a good result for us.
Thanks for talking.
Top 6, is that quite ambitious, Michael?
Well, starting on the second row, you got a target not losing any positions. I do think it is a little ambitious because we know it'll be difficult for Fabio in the early laps to maintain his position, just because he'll probably lose out on the run to turn 3. So yeah, he'll be looking to fight and dig deep, and he goes good around here. So I think he's gonna scrap for it, and I hope to see him remain with the lead group and maybe even in the podium battle. But I think that's slightly wishful thinking.
We haven't really spoken that much about Marc Marquez. Obviously, we know he crashed turn 3, sitting in 5th, ready for this one. He's going to find the pace. He's going to be a challenger for this one, as he was in Phillip Island.
Yeah, without a doubt. Obviously, the crash, it doesn't seem to derail his weekends, even though when it's happened on occasion, he's qualified further down than the second row of the grid. So, yeah, 5th, middle of the second row, gives him a good opportunity. He did see that the GP24 maybe has a little bit of legs on it. We've seen it in Phillip Island, but he still came out on top. He led yesterday. He's got all the tools to battle, and as we heard from him, he doesn't care about the championship battle. He's out there for as many race victories as possible before this 2024 season wraps up.
And he's not going to make the same mistake with his tear-off, is he, on the start this weekend?
No, 100% he will throw off the tear-off if needed before he arrives on the grid today. So, yeah, that was definitely a bit of a weird anomaly, but he still came back and delivered the victory.
And Fabio Di Gianantonio is just behind Marc, 8th there. This is his last weekend, so yeah, he's looking for a good result, especially after last weekend coming forward.
Yeah, he had a really strong feature race in Phillip Island. Good qualifying today. Not as good as perhaps he hoped, but obviously, as you mentioned, signing off this weekend, just looking to go out on a high, get his shoulder repaired. He's going to be treated to a GP25 factory Ducati next year, so the impetus is definitely on getting fit, getting ready to really get his teeth into that challenge.
Yeah, it'd be a great way to sign off what has been an improving season for Digi if he goes well this weekend here in Thailand. Well, that is the helmet we're looking at, the Martinator. What can he do here? He still leads by 20 points. Can he extend that after the sprint race here in Thailand? Let's hand over now to Gavin Emmett and Neil Hodgson.
The anticipation is rising. Hard front, medium rear. It's the Tissot Sprint for MotoGP in Buriram, Thailand. Let battle commence for 13 laps. A crucial sprint race in the World Championship is about to launch into gear. Jorge Martin crashing qualifying still starts third on the grid. Pecco Bagnaia taking pole position. And Enea Bastianini completing out that front row in second. Second row, Marco Bezzecchi, Marc Marquez and Fabio Quartararo, Pedro Costa, Fabio Di Giannantonio and Alex Marquez. Maverick Vinales, Franco Morbidelli, Johan Zarco, Brad Binder, Aleix Espargaro, Jack Miller, Augusto Fernandez, Alex Rins, Taki Nakagami, Juan Mir, Ralph Fernandez, Luca Marini and Lorenzo Salvadori in 22nd position. We set off on the parade lap. 13 laps ahead of us. Alongside me once again is Megan Birch. Megan, here we go then. Time for the sprint race here in Thailand. And arguably should be a very good race, judging what we've had so far this weekend.
Hopefully, and just going around that first corner, I saw just that little bit of a twitch from not just Bezzecchi, but also from Bastianini. So we should really watch out for that into turn one, because I worry that perhaps some people might lose it and go down.
3 Grand Prix to go, 3 Tissot sprints to go, and the gap between Martin and Bagnaia stands at 20 points. Bagnaia says it's not that big of a gap. We say it could be better. So, arguably, Megan, today, he could close it down by 2, he could close it down by 1, but
he could drop it.
Yeah, exactly. Martin could drop it. So many unpredictables, but the one thing that Bagnaia needs is that for this weekend, he must close the gap. It's a do or die weekend, because if he doesn't, and the gap increases,
it's going to get more difficult.
Exactly, and going into Malaysia next weekend, Martin can rack the title up there.
Yeah.
Bangkok. Yeah, Bangkok is going to launch the season opener as well in terms of the party to launch the season. That's on February the 9th. We'll have pre-season testing here and at Qatar. And then the first race of 2025 and 2026 will be here in Buriram. Lights ready, engines ready, 13 laps, Megan. Here's your money on.
Mark.
Red flag at the front of the field. You know, I've been having a dream so much about the rider safety. I dreamt last night that there was an accident, but I actually held out the red flag myself because they wouldn't do it. So we have a clean sprint race, green flags at the back.
I had a dream that I was going for a drive-through.
All eyes to the lights. Lights on. Lights out in Thailand. Great start from Bagnaia. Great start from Martin. Bastianini's going to have to drop back into turn 1. Martin goes late in the brakes. Martin takes the lead. Runs out Bagnaia. Bastianini goes on the inside and Marc Marquez takes second. Clips Martin at the same time. Martin backwards, backwards, backwards. Down into turn 3. Bastianini leads. Marc Marquez into second position. Martin's down to 5th. Coming up the inside of Pedro Acosta. Acosta goes on the inside line. Martin's having a terrible start. He's going backwards everywhere. Alex Marquez up to 6th position as we exit turn 3. Bagnaia's going to the inside line and gets out of Marc Marquez. Bastianini leads though. Martin down to 5th. Terrible start.
The R46s definitely didn't have a great start. Though, did you see what kind of a start that Marc Marquez got? He was just flying up in the inside, well, in the middle.
Yeah, brilliant start for Marc Marquez. He's going to be on the back now. Pedro Costa's there as well. And Bagnaia just trying to block out. I said to Costa might have it. Quartararo's dropped from 7th to 11th. He's gone wide a little bit as well.
In the middle, Pat racing.
And Mia's up to 15th ahead of Aleix Espargaro. I said, oh, there we go. Yeah, just sitting up for Quartararo coming out of turn 7.
Hit the curb.
I said watch out for Pedro Acosta in the sprint race. He's a man on a mission. He's got Martin directly behind him. We're riding with the 89 now as we come into turn 12. He's going to throw it up the inside. Acosta's ready for it. Martin can't even get through. Acosta shut that door. Marc Marquez does it as well. He's trying to have a go on Pedro Acosta. Sorry, on Pecco Bagnaia.
Zarco's dropped a bit.
Bastianini leads with 12 to go. Lap 1 complete then. It's going to be a very quick Tissot sprint. If you're expecting anything other, then you're in the wrong business. Down through the Kinkuk 2, the backstretch towards the hairpin at 3. And already Bastianini's got a half a second advantage as Martin sends it up the inside of Pedro Acosta. Acosta trail breaks in. Martin can't find anything. And Alex Marquez even wants to have a go around the outside.
A little bit of a drop there again from Zarco down at the back of the field, now into 17th position from his previous 13th, and Quartararo's just dropped another place to Alicia Spargo. Up near the front of the field we can see Martin almost getting passed by Acosta, and it looks like Acosta's going to make that happen.
Yeah, he's lost out as well. Martin slips back through into 4th position. Acosta down into 5th then as well. So Acosta really struggling in order to get positions right. Bastianini proving why he's such a talent in MotoGP, taking off at the front. Bagnaia knows he needs the race victory though. He can't lose any more points. Biggest winners, Binder up 6, Mir up 7. Quartararo, the biggest loser, down 9. And Marquez all over the back of Bagnaia. This is where the 8-time world champion is going to whip the backside of a 2-time world champion.
Track limits for Quartararo, given how much he is going on.
129.820 from Bastianini then as well. That's the fast lap as they throw it into turn 1, 90 degrees downhill. Watch out for Acosta, he's on the back of Martin. This is where we're going to see some real overtakes then, folks. The long sweep through 2 and then down towards turn 3. Hairpin, they're all filing line astern. I thought Martin does not look healthy down there. I thought he might drop it. And look at Acosta, trail breaking in, going so far wide, and Alex tries to come back through.
Bit too far down for Maverick Vinales. He's just dropped a few places.
12th to you.
Yeah. Gone from 12th to 16th.
Yeah, I can't see why further back in the picture as well. He's just having a little bit of an off moment himself. So here's the race start then, Megs.
Right, so Marc Marquez gets a wonderful start. Both of the R46s get terrible starts. And as you can see, it immediately bunch up into 3 separate groups there, and quite a couple offs there just around the first corner. Though getting on board by, I think, yeah, this is Acosta.
I thought I was on mute. Acosta.
Acosta gets a good start around the first corner, makes a couple of passes and gets into 3rd position. But that doesn't last long as that was Bagnaia managing to actually get back round the outside of Acosta. He just lost it.
Yeah, he really was trying everything, wasn't he, as he came across the line. Bastianini now has a 129.639 as well, having the advantages coming through. It's annoying me, that's why I've just it all towards you. As they come through. Martin on a 129.825, then he drops it backwards.
Oh, Acosta's dropping it backwards more,
Acosta's
and he's
down. Acosta's lost the front. He's gone in too deep. Acosta's crashed out of the Tissot sprint. And there goes my pick a winner for the sprint race. The man who was looking so strong has thrown it away. The front buckling, and he's going to rejoin immediately. But Acosta down at 3.
It's still early in the sprint race. You never know. He might be able to somehow find his way back up. He has rejoined the race.
Seeing him now. Well, that's my fault. I cursed him. That's, yeah, Megan, talk us through it.
Right, so you can see Acosta just... Oh, yeah, he just goes way too wide and just completely loses it. Manages to stay on the bike, but... it was unavoidable. Also, I found that instead of saying drivers, I'm trying to stop myself in F1 to say riders.
Paul Acosta gives the kid next 2 years of KTM and show what he's worth as well. Bagnaia and Martin going on the inside line, and Marquez gets the move done into turn 12. Marquez, though, knows the old switch back. Can't get back on the inside line. Acosta's crashed again, apparently, according to our timing screen on our TV pictures.
Oh, that's not good. Where did Alex just come from?
Alex has come up from he's just been hanging around. Salvadori track limits.
Vinales too.
So they're all getting it sorted as they come through. Let's have a look. Lauren says Mark should forget about the mistake in qualifying, gets a good result at the sprint. He seems so upset about the qualifying as well. A superstar from 1 Mia. Something wrong to Zarco. Yeah, as they come through. Commentator's curse happens again. It did indeed. Martin in 3rd, says Lou. Oi, doing damage limitation. Alex Marquez waking up as well, says Iceman. Indeed. I'll try and get to all your comments on the YouTube chat as we go. Benny, I see what happened to Fabio at the start. He got wide, didn't you, on one of the curbs, you said?
Yeah, one of the curbs completely messed him up, and also Marini track limits.
Right, so Marini been given track limits then as well. They're all going to shift around and do the old cut back between them as well. And we're watching on board with Jorge Martin as he's going to have a go at Pecco Bagnaia. This is now second and third in the sprint race as well. They've got to try and hold their advantage. 9 to go, 8 to go at the end of this one as well. Suddenly now the laps are starting to just feel a bit longer.
Yeah, they are starting to feel that way. And just looking at Mark's times, and he's a bit slower than the rest of them as Quartararo passes Aleix Spargaro for 11th position.
Over the line and far away, Martin is coming to play, but now Marc Marquez is going to come into it as well. Bastianini just keeping the advantage. Martin's done a 1:29.554. He's got the fastest lap of the race so far. So it'll switch between them two again as they go down towards the turn 3 hairpin. 1.123. Oh, that's a nice little number, isn't it? I don't know. I think that we've got the top 4 in the World Championship, top 4 in the race.
Currently looking at Bagnaia and at Bastianini, and Bastianini's just got such a gap between him and Bagnaia that Bastianini is very good at sprint races. I've noticed that.
Oh, yeah.
Whereas Bagnaia seems to struggle.
Martin's won 16 Tissot sprints.
Whew. That's a lot. Oh, gap down to 18 now.
Yeah, so that's 2 points that he's taken off him as well. Every point matters for Bagnaia here this weekend. He knows he needs to keep the gaps down as small as possible. He does not want to give Martin the chance in Malaysia in 7 days' time to wrap the championship up as well. On the inside line, is he going to go for a late break? Can't really get that sorted and stop. Martin holds it back in. Triple header for MotoGP. Triple header as well for Formula One. They go back to back, morning to noon.
And Binder just gets a track limit.
Yeah.
And is it weird that I generally do not have a preference for who wins this?
No, it's not a weird situation at all. It's sort of like a he who dares win situation, isn't it?
Yeah.
No.
Just like whoever will be.
C'est la vie, c'est la vie.
Aleix just dropped a couple of places.
So who's got track limits? Binder, Quartararo and Vinales on my monitor.
And Marini and
Okay.
Rins. Savadori.
Quite a lot then.
Yeah, I'd say about 5.
Megan's got the monitor so she can see it. Martin. Bagnaia's not going to like this one. Martin's all over the back of it. Very late lunge on the switch back on the inside. Beautiful move from Jorge Martin, but he goes on the green, Megan. He's going to have to get that place back to Bagnaia. Overtook him off track.
Yeah, Martin track limits.
Well, that's going to have to be a payback situation. Martin can't. It's not Formula One. You can't pass off the track. Martin's going to have to get that one back. It would have been deemed off track.
22 points now.
So Martin extending that gap in the championship as they come under braking now as well. But yeah, they're going to have to swap it back. Look, track limit 20 from Martin. Surely it's a give a place back. He never completed the move on track. I'd like to see what the stewards are going to say about that one as well. But then again, it is Freddie Spencer. I've only agreed with the stewards once this season, and it happened this weekend. Tony Arbolino getting a 3-place grid penalty for restarting his bike and putting marshals in danger. Then also Zonta van der Gerberg in Moto2 after going in between the marshal and Arbolino, hitting Arbolino's ankle. And he's got a pit lane start for this Grand Prix as well. What do you think, Megan? It's a good move, but it was, to me,
it is
completed off track.
Yeah, because he was still fighting against him there.
Did well to hold it, though, because he got traction on the drain cover. That would have put me down.
He did do very well to hold it. D'Antonio makes his way up into 7th.
That's Franco Morbidelli as well. So Digi, even with a damaged shoulder, is having more momentum.
Did you know that...
The Muffin Man?
No. Robert Schwartzman. He's got a 5-place grid penalty.
Yeah, I saw this. Because I wasn't in the comment box for F1 yesterday.
How can he get a 5-place grid penalty? He is literally the practice driver for this. Are they going to put it in his sport? Or?
presumably when...
Or one day when he reaches F1, he immediately gets 5 grade penalty.
Yeah, that could happen, and to be honest with you as well,
Was it Joe's?
Jenson Button's got a 5-place grid penalty at his next Formula 1 Grand Prix after taking out Pascal Wehrlein at Monaco in 2017, do you remember?
Oh my goodness.
So, yeah, technically, Button still has one as well. So, we now have 2 drivers who are of penalties for the next race that might not even race. Well, Button certainly won't. He's lost his super license point.
Can't they turn...
Actually, no, because Button's a world champion, he has super license forever.
Can't they, like, turn it into, like, a fine instead?
They might do. They might appeal and say fine. Because that was for overtaking under the red flag, isn't it?
Yeah.
Back to the on-track action. D'Antonio and Bezzecchi were toing and throwing between each other as well. Paul Pecco, that's what I'm thinking as well, because this isn't fair in my opinion. Honestly, this isn't fair. What this has now done is allowed Martin to complete the move off the track. It was at turn 7, through on the inside. Yes, he was ahead,
but he hadn't
corner.
fully got past him yet.
He's done it again. He's just gone over the track limits again at the same part. That's going to flash up on the monitor.
Not yet.
Definitely off track though. 100% off track. Look, even they're thinking, do we have to give the place back? What do we do?
It's like, what's happening here? Why does that guy kind of look like a little bit like Andrew Garfield?
Didn't it?
Yeah.
There
Especially around the eyes.
Yeah. 4 to go. Let's take a look. Watch this again. So Martin, look, I knew it. He does touch the green. Yeah.
So they've noticed it.
Yeah, they saw it. Time to start because he already had a track limits warning, didn't he?
Yeah.
So that must be a penalty then. If you already had that track limits warning, that would be the penalty marker.
Why is it 2?
Well, he's done it 3 times. You get a penalty. You get a warning, then you get a penalty. So in my book, that might be Martin getting a long lap penalty in the sprint. That would be dramatic in the championship as Bezzecchi passes Digi once again.
That could change loads of things up.
It would drop Martin to behind Morbidelli and it will allow Bagnaia to have points. I would not be surprised if I see a message pop up from the stewards saying, Ahoy Martin, long lap penalty. And it's down here at turn 5 where you have to serve said penalty.
Vinales just dropped a few places. And it's...
Sorry to cross you here, but it's not a normal long lap penalty where it's a tiny little runoff area. Here at Buriram, it's a complete off-track excursion. You go straight, turn round and off.
So it's right at the back through it.
It's a roundabout of 10-second loss.
Very good.
Yeah, so it's a mega
10-second
penalty.
loss that would put in between Bezzecchi and D'Antonio.
Yeah, it's a mega penalty. It is not one to be taken lightly at all here.
Actually, that would put in between D'Antonio and Quartararo.
So outside the points paying positions for the sprint race as well.
Yeah,
so he goes to 9th. Yeah, so that's going to be interesting. Bezzecchi passes Binder with 3 laps to go. No sign of anything from the stewards yet, though, as to how they're going to handle Jorge Martin's off-track excursion. But we are monitoring the 89 to see if he goes off-track at any other point here at Buriram.
3 laps to go, too.
Bagnaia's in a 1:29.984 Megan last lap. He's the fastest in the top of 2 to 4.
Acosta is going really slowly now. I reckon he's just entered the pit lane.
Yeah, I think he has. He's in sector 4, isn't he? So I think Acosta into pits. Good call, Megs. Nicely done.
He was just dropping way too slowly.
So Pedro Acosta is out finally of the Tissot sprint. Interestingly enough, they haven't called it. No, it is Tissot sprint. I just looked at the time. I looked at the areas Acosta in the pit lane. The time, the RTV World Feed page just says MotoGP sprint. It usually says MotoGP Tissot sprint. But it's saying Tissot sprint on our monitor here in the commentary box that you see at home.
Yeah. It is strange that they've not decided to do that.
Just a reminder, on JB Sports Extra today, we have our first video uploading live. It is Omi taking you through the Freca race, race 1 from Monza, as the season finale in our bonus content of 2024. Look at Bagnaia all over the back of Martin. I will switch back to the main camera now as well, because I've got a feeling, Megan, that this is going to be to and fro between the two on the last few laps.
Just thought of something.
What?
No, it's not to do with like MotoGP. I just thought of something for Zara's birthday.
Okay. Having the attack. Acosta went down again. No, he's into the pit lane and out. So Acosta's retired in the pit lane of this Grand Prix. Oh, this sprint race as they come into it. Look at Martin, so wide at 3, but it enables him to point and squirt the bike out and get an extra little run down the back. Hard front, medium rear tyres for everyone bar one Mia who's gone hard front, hard rear. We've got soft fronts as well for Alex Marquez, Marco Bezzecchi, Fabio Di Giannantonio and Aleix Espargaro.
For some reason, it's just said access denied to Tesco's website.
Bagnaia, I think, had a little bit of a leg off. I want to see a replay of that, but it looked like he had a sort of jerk on the motion there. Where's the long lap penalty, says Lou? That's what I'm thinking as well. Looks like they've left it. He definitely went off track, though. Well, it's Freddie Spencer penalising a Spanish rider. Doubt that's ever going to happen. If it was Bagnaia, you'd get the penalty, but yeah. Last lap then. This is going to be fun. Generally, I don't know what's going to happen next, do you?
No. It just said access denied to Tesco on the website.
Yeah, that's a bit bizarre. I swear the camera's moved somewhat.
Yeah, it's moved that way.
Yeah, because we're standing now. We're not centered. Move over there a bit. Yeah.
Yeah, that camera's moved that way.
Yeah, I'll just do. Into turn 3. Martin again going wide. Perhaps a post-race penalty, says Iceman. Could happen, could happen. I suppose they've just got to sort of prepare to see what's going to happen next, haven't they, as well? Yeah, you're right, the camera has moved a little bit. I'll move it. They're going to have to be really careful. But what a race from Renee Bashir, Megan. He has utterly dominated this.
He has. And it's... Honestly, at the start, I kind of had a feeling he'd win, but I went with Mark instead.
Turn 1 proved exactly how quick it could be. The only downside here is that Bagnaia needed to gain points on Martin. That hasn't happened. Martin's extended the gap to 22 points. Bagnaia now must go into tomorrow to win and Martin not score. His teammate hasn't helped him either. Bastianini riding for himself, not playing the team game. He doesn't need to. Bastianini dominates the sprint race and wins in Buriram. Martin second, Bagnaia fails in third. A 2-point differential. I don't know what to make of that one. The championship nobody seems to want to win. Martin keeps locking himself into these positions. Bagnaia handshakes Bastianini, but it was all lost at the first corner.
It was. Which is a shame, but it's just what happens.
So now we go into the Grand Prix tomorrow with a must-win for Pecco Bagnaia. No ifs, no buts. If that gap is more than 25, leaving here, the championship can be wrapped up in Malaysia. I'd like a final day showdown in Valencia. That'd be nice. But we could have a world champion 7 days at Malaysia and then go into Valencia just as a fun race. I don't want that though. It's boring. It's like, what's the point of racing after as well? So here's your results then as everyone's crossed the checker flag. It's Enea Bastianini with Jorge Martin, Pecco Bagnaia, Marc Marquez. Alex Marquez takes 5th. Franco Morbidelli, Marco Bezzecchi, Fabio Di Giannantonio, Brad Binder, the last points playing position. Fabio Quartararo takes 10th, Chapman is 11th, Jan Zarco's 12th, Juan Mir 13th, Ralph Fernandez 14th, Aleix Espargaro 15th, Augusto Fernandez 16th, Alex Rins 17th, Yuki Nakagami's 18th, Luca Marini 19th, Mami Vinales 20th, Lorenzo Savadori 21st, Pedro Costa the only retirement from the sprint race as well. Megs Martin looks emotional. He knows he's on the cusp of a world championship on a...
Yeah, I think he feels that.
Yeah. It's going to be an interesting race tomorrow. What do you think's going to happen?
Crash.
Do you reckon that we could see a penalty from Martin post-race?
Possibly.
Yeah. Well, thanks, Megs. I'll let you go. And we'll hand over to TNT Sports, Gavin Emmett and Neil Hodson.
15 seconds behind last year. Sorry, behind the win this year. Really shows that all the other manufacturers have stood still, and Ducati have marched forward.
There we are, confirmation of what I was saying early on in the race. He now can finish second in the remaining 5 races. That's 2 more sprints and 3 Grand Prix, and he'll be world champion, which means it's not in Pecco Bagnaia or Ducati's hands anymore. Second sprint win of the year for Enea Bastianini after Silverstone, and not sure many of us saw it coming. Said it wasn't, you know, a track that he necessarily got on with. Remember, he won in Sepang last year.
That's where we see his advantage.
Surprised at Marc Marquez's pace there, or was that just a case of racing the GP24s with his bike here? We always thought before the weekend it would be tough.
Yeah, I'm surprised with his pace. I thought it would have been a little bit better.
But he was quicker than the pace he was running on the hard tyre earlier.
He was quicker.
Yeah, I think he was doing 29s, if you remember, on the hard tyre this morning.
That's true, yeah. Yeah, it just shows that that's the limit. Tell you what, everyone looks exhausted. Half race distance.
Yeah, straight
but
away.
The humidity, isn't it?
Remember him collapsing after the Indian Grand Prix last year. His own epic scrap on that occasion. Not much scrapping today, but we saw the move on Bagnaia was a firm one. Fabio Quartararo, something happened early on in the race. He was sat up, dropped like a stone, unfortunately. He did come back to 10th. Let's have a look what happened. Are we going to see?
He's going to play the high side moment. Yeah, you can see what happened there. His back wheel dropped off the edge of the curb. And that was that for him, unfortunately. Then he got gobbled up.
Let's hear from the reigning champion. How's he feeling after that one?
Pecco, tell us all about your sprint.
Nothing, I just started well, but then I lost the positions. And I was missing something that is quite strange compared to my feeling other sessions. But in any case, we managed to finish third. We lost 2 points, and we can be focused for tomorrow.
Congratulations.
Not a happy bunny.
You think?
I'm reading him, though, and Marc Marquez, both looking like they were a bit confused with their pace in that race.
Yeah, well, whatever was going on with Bagnaia, it's that the middle of the track, turns 5, 6, 7. The rest of it looks okay. He's good into the last corner. He'll know exactly what setting this man's got, what Jorge Martin's running. He'll know what electronic strategy.
Starting to look concerned there at the factory team as Jorge Martin knows that that's another
that was
shot in his arm.
entertaining after losing time on the first turn. How you fought back through those fast riders like you were riding for your life.
Yeah, trust me, I think it was the most difficult race of the season. It was so hot behind the other riders, and the first lap I was braking quite hard, and I saw that if I don't release the brake, I was touching somebody, so I prefer to go outside and lose some positions. And then from that point, I just tried to push a lot. I recovered a lot of positions, and yeah, I did my target today, so tomorrow is a long day, long race, really different, and hopefully we can do the same.
Great job, congratulations.
All in hand for Jorge Martin.
Tell you what, he's going to struggle tomorrow. We saw him in India have some issues at the end of the race. He nearly collapsed. Half race distance. The problem is it's hard enough riding around on your own, but like you just said, it's when you're in the fight, the battle, the heat off the bikes. Look at the faces there. What a picture that is.
That is concern etched on every single one of the Ducati camp. Not on this side of the garage, though. Enea Bastianini is a sprint race winner once again.
Enea, Marc Marquez said yesterday, if Enea is fast on a Friday, watch out for him this weekend. And was that a perfect race?
Yeah, the approach at the race has been difficult, but after the start, I was in the first place, and inside my mind, everything calls, I have to push, and nothing. At the end, I bring some distance from the other rider, and I remain with the same for the race. And it's beautiful to be again first step.
Fantastic work, congratulations.
Yeah, all sorted for him in that first corner. And when he does hit the front of a race,
he can lead. He can. He's
take it to the line, can't he?
He's smooth. I think Simon Crafer called it perfect. When Bastianini's fast on a Friday, then he can be dangerous.
But he was having his problems like Bagnaia on a Friday.
Yeah.
However,
he likes the hot countries, though, doesn't he? He likes the hot temperatures.
Yeah.
Winner last year in Malaysia, from nowhere, by the way. I don't know if he had the podium up to that point. He was struggling up to that point.
So we're going to get our podium in the sprint race here at the Thai Grand Prix.
You can see when Martin's struggling. I'm watching him. He can't stop moving around. He's in a lot of discomfort because he's so dehydrated.
Well, let's have a look at that tomorrow. That might be something that will play into the long race. Remember, a 26-lap race. Could well rain. That's a possibility tomorrow. That will throw another spanner into the works. Look at the dejection at Ducati.
That was like a slow clap, wasn't it?
It's not all won yet. You hope they cannot feel defeated. They have to bounce back tomorrow, even though Jorge Martin has taken another 9 points and extended his lead to 22. But the Buriram belongs to the beast. Bastianini blasting to victory today. Flawless all the way through. He's still got it, and he takes the full 12 points here in the sprint at the Thai Grand Prix.
Champagne time here at the sprint race. A wonderful sprint at the Chang International Circuit. We'll be back tomorrow for Moto3, Moto2 and MotoGP live race coverage. Coming up on JB Sports Extra is the Formula Regional European Championship by Alpine, Freca, the Monza finale, Race 1 watch along. Omi's in the commentary box for that one. That's going to be on JB Sports Extra. Here on JB Motorsports, later on tonight, you'll have action from the Formula 1 third practice and qualifying for the Mexico City Grand Prix. Thanks for your company. Don't forget the clocks go back if you're living in the UK. We'll see you tomorrow for Grand Prix Sunday. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.